Hi, everybody. Mike here, MAGA Headline News. Guys, listen, it's heating up in LA. All right. Pete Hegseth sending in the National Guard. All right. And justifiably so. He also says that the Marines will be on their way if needed. Okay. The violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal aliens from our soil, a dangerous invasion facilitated by the criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and our huge national security risk. Under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. Listen, we're not going to let our country burn to the ground. All right. Enough is enough. Okay. The leftists, the blue-haired freaks, okay, their voices are basically nothing. They are amplified minority. That's what they are. Amplified by the media, amplified by social media. Okay. The will of the people is 77 million people voted for Trump and voted for this. And let me tell you something. It's a lot more than 77 million because they cheated this one too. All right. There was 30 to 40 million ballots thrown out just in this election alone. All right. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal law enforcement in LA. And if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. Good. I'm tired of hearing about how ICE is mass. ICE is, these mass thugs. Why do you need to see their faces? They're taking foreign criminals out of our country. All right. Just them being here, okay, is a criminal act. They came here illegally. Okay. Just because a Democrat, leftist, blue hair freak, you don't understand the damage it does just by having people here where our system is designed to support so many people, the strain it puts on our system. Okay. You don't understand what it means to have a culture or to recognize that Americans have a culture because you don't believe in it. Well, we do. And we're done. We're done. We've been through enough of this shit. All right. We are done seeing our country fall apart. President Trump is going to take care of this, and he's going to take every single one of these illegals out of here. And if you don't like it and you want to destroy our country and you want to hurt other Americans, all right, you're going to be arrested, all right, and you're going to pay for it eventually. So listen, these people don't seem to understand, okay? The patriotic Americans have sat back. We have sat back. We have played real nice, okay? And the reason that they do this stuff is because we do play nice, because we do follow the law, because we do have families and lives that we don't want to destroy by going out into the streets and fighting these people back. All right. We outnumber these people by millions. Okay. But we sit back, we do nothing. All right. And you know what? At this point, that's probably the best thing to do. What I do recognize at some level that these leftists are fellow Americans of ours that have been conditioned. They have been through the ringer. They've been through the system. They have spent years in an education system learning the wrong thing. Okay. I don't know what it's going to take to open these people's eyes because they don't even want to stop and look at what their elected officials are doing. They don't want to look at the facts. Okay. It's all propaganda to them. They're susceptible to propaganda, which is all nice and shiny in the beginning, but at the end, they never go and look at the facts when they come out. Okay. Listen, we had Tom Homan on. Okay. Tom Homan, listen to what he says.
Said many times, these
on Fox News.
Officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like, Hakeem Jeffries saying he's going to dox ICE employees. ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect.
Hakeem Jeffries, they're going to start docking ICE employees. They want their masks off so they could go to these people's houses and harm their families. So they could go hold them responsible for doing their job. So they could commit violence against them. Why do you want their masks off? All right. The people being taken away are illegal. Okay. And you know what? For us to sit there and justify this argument that they have is bullshit. We're not going to do it. All right. Enough is enough. We have just had enough. We are watching our country go down the tubes. All right. From our education system to the crime in our streets to the culture that's being infected by the left wing. All right. even down to our TV programming and movies that has infected Hollywood. You can't even get good entertainment anymore because of these Democrats. All right. Everything has to be woke. Everything has to be non-realistic. Everything has to be the image that they want to create for the rest of the world, that they want to force on the rest of the world. It's non-realistic. And like I said before, their voices are nothing but just an amplified minority. That's all it is, an amplified minority on social media and the media.
Themselves and their families, because they've been doxxed, their families have been doxxed, their life's been threatened, their families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters at my house. I expect that as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives online every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery. They arrested public safety, not only significant public safety threats, but national security threats. They arrested gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer. And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this country, and we welcome. We're the most giving country in the world. But these are illegal aliens who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally, then yet committed another crime. Again, yesterday's about a criminal investigation into money laundering, tax evasion, and some of the funds going to cartels in Mexico and Colombia that fund their operations of sending narcotics to this country, killing American people. This is about enforcing the law, and again, we're not going to apologize for doing it. We're stepping up. She says they're going to mobilize. Well, guess what? We're already ahead of the game. We're already mobilizing. We're going to bring National Guard in tonight. We're going to continue doing our job. We're going to push back on these people, and we're going to force the law.
Tom, it's Lydia.
Good, and that's it. And you know something? Anybody that you're walking around destroying our country and you're not a citizen and you're waving the American, you're waving a foreign country's flag, you should be treated exactly as that, a foreign invader. Okay, enough of this propaganda, enough of this bullshit, and enough of the liberal terms too, the migrants, okay? Oh, the man from Maryland, all right? The media is the reason that we have so many problems in America, okay? The universities, the Marxist professors at these universities that you send your kid in to learn to get a college education, they come out a full-blown Marxist, all right? Then what happens? 10 years later, these kids grow up, they see the truth, they see what's really going on, they regret everything they did, and they walk away from the Democrat Party. That's why the Democrat Party wants them young. They always want them young, easily impressionable, all right? No matter what it's for, these Democrats always want them young. We all know that. It's a sick world out there. And you know something? It all gravitates to the Democrat Party. And you know, a lot of these white liberals, what do they think? They think that this system, like as if like government is God, where that, you know, it's just going to sustain everything, you know, bring in millions of people. Who cares? You know, we'll just keep building, keep paying. You want to know why? Because half of these leftists with the amplified voices, they live at home. They don't know the value of a dollar. They have no idea what it takes to run a country. That's like with this auto pen scandal, the same shit. They're in there just signing shit away while Joe Biden's getting his diaper changed. All right. They have no idea what they're doing. The people that get hurt by these policies. All right. Now look at, you have an entire major city under siege. It's again. All right. People marching, every flag but the American flag. At what point do we realize this is an invasion? Okay. And even the American citizens that are participating in this, what is your goal? To overthrow our government? You're going after our law enforcement. You're going after our federal buildings, and they hold on to this January 6th nonsense. All right. When it's convenient for the left to enforce the law or to look to the Constitution or to manipulate the Constitution, it's all great. But they ignore every law. They ignore everything they've said, complete hypocrites, when it's their turn, when they're out there doing this bullshit. All right. You know, they keep citing January 6th, January 6th. You know, we've seen enough evidence with January 6th. We all know what happened. We all know exactly what happened, and it's going to fully come out. All right. And people that don't want to look at it, you don't want to look at the evidence, oh, well, I don't know what to tell you. Too bad, because eventually this is just going to have to be done by force, by law enforcement, where we just don't give a fuck no more, because we want peace in our country, and we want our country restored. We want fair elections, and we don't want 20 million illegal aliens here. That's not what we want. We want our tax money to be spent for our country, to improve our kids' lives, our kids' education systems, and, you know, our infrastructure. This is unbelievable. I mean, just looking at this stuff. What they should do is just go pull them right out of the crowd. Just arrest them all, okay? And if they need to show up in numbers, our National Guard, just start deporting people. Maybe it makes it easier, okay? And they want to tear up their own city. Go ahead, tear up your own city. And guess what's coming? Guess what show back up? And this is how you know that this here is organized by the NGOs. And you see, here's the ice, the pallets of bricks, the war zone is set up, all right? And what you're going to start seeing in cities across America is you're going to start seeing stuff like this in your local blue cities. You're going to start seeing pallets of bricks show up like they did in 2020 all over the place. At this time, it's funny, they went for the bigger bricks this time. They didn't even go with the smaller ones. And then here's another thing. It looks like the blue-haired corps of engineers brought their best and brightest in to erect a barrier. It looks like, you know, I don't think that the ICE vehicles will get through this, because if you see the quality of this right here, they probably went through multiple engineering courses at Berkeley to be able to create a structure like this. This was done by the blue-haired corps of leftist engineers. I don't know if they're trying to create a new CHOP or a new Chaz. Maybe they're going to take over a section of LA. Because I'm sure that the ICE officials probably can't move a few of these things to get their cars by. And somebody put a nice, oh, look, they put a palm tree. I wonder how that's going to go over with the tree huggers. Poor Home Depot. They seem to be at the center of all this all the time. What's this? Oh, yeah, this is where, okay, yeah, they always have to put up, you know, the protesters got injured, the poor protesters. Nobody looks at our cities, our country that we built, that we fought for, all right? This is our country that we fought for, that we built over the last 250 years, being destroyed and burned down by 20 million illegal invaders, supported by these NGOs, supported by our tax money, all right? It's sad. It really is sad to see this. Let's see. Look at it. They're throwing stuff at innocent law enforcement. It looks like they're using their own hair dye, the red and the blue-green hair dye for fireworks. Start fires everywhere. And then you know what California does? They'll say, oh, yeah, we had wildfires. We need federal funds. It's just like back in 2020 in the wildfires when we caught Antifa on video setting all the fires. And a few months ago, the same thing. They caught illegals with flamethrowers. It's all a bunch of bullshit. They're just tearing down our country. And you know what? Trump, send in the National Guard. Get rid of them all. Get rid of them all. Put the white liberals in jail. They want to destroy this country, okay? They should find out who dropped these pallets of bricks off all over the place, all right? And these people should be arrested too. Who's paying for this? Who's actually paying for this? You know who pays for it? Your tax dollars going to some NGO with a bunch of liberal blue-hair freaks running it, in control of millions of dollars, and then they're having these bricks that are going to hurt people, kill people, whatever, destroy the whole city. If they're sitting down at every street corner in the blue cities, okay? Listen, guys, keep an eye out. It's coming. It's going to heat up, all right? I will continue to report on this stuff as it heats up, it's not going to stop. Unfortunately, this has been planned for months. They knew that they were going to do this summer. All right. What we need to do right now, stay peaceful, keep up your support for President Trump. Let them take care of it. They will. All right. It might be a rough summer ahead of us. Okay. But eventually, remember, there are 80 million of us that voted for President Trump, at least counted. All right. This is the voice of the people. President Trump knows that, and he will take care of it. President Trump understands now that, these social media, all this stuff is just amplified voices of the minority. All right. That's all it is. And they could see what happened with Twitter, what happened with Facebook. It was all fake, all amplified. So, guys, listen, I will come back with another report as things escalate or continue. Remember, I'm brand new, so subscribe, give me a like, comment. All right. I'm also on Rumble and under MAGA Headline News. And we will see you again probably tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay, guys, have a good night.